sits there and she's got a 6. That's a good guess too. Get a long world out there. Hey, look at that. We got a world 3 starting out here. I got a pipe to start out. So this pipe might actually be in a good location. Let's find out where it takes them. Does take them to another location. It's got 2 other pipes, so the chances are that that lock down there is blocking the way to the fortress. Eunice is going to take a mushroom house. Not a bad idea. Having some stock up in your supplies doesn't hurt too much. So they did check that lock. That pipe there did lead to the lock. And Garen and Eunice are going to be playing the coin chip. Teex finds out that there is a lock in front of the fortress, so he's going to have to play one of the forts to find out if that will break the lock for him. Ooh, Garen unfortunately suffers a death there at the coin chip, so now the coin chip will turn back into a hammer bro. Eunice does defeat the treasure ship and does get a P-wing. Teex here looks like he's playing... Can't think of the level here. I want to say it's 7-3. Eunice here and looks like 3-5. Garen does take down the hammer bros and he'll keep moving on. Teex heading into the first fort. We're going to find the flooded fort here, the World 3 F2. Not exactly in its vanilla location, but it's pretty vanilla. So beating this fort will open up another, open up one of the locks. So we'll see if this takes him to the right location. Just gotta be careful, watch out for those boo bars. Eunice finds himself in one of the first beta levels we're going to see. There are 7 beta levels, I believe, in this randomizer that were made beatable by Fred. The levels are in the code themselves, but they don't have an ending to them. But Fred made them so we can defeat them. And if you're wondering who Fred is Fred Coughlin, the programmer for the Super Mario 3 randomizer. So Teex finds out that that is not the lock he wants. It just opens up the pipe down below. Garen Old Wolf is going to find out about that shortly, so... Let's see, Eunice is going to keep moving on. He's got at least another level before the fortress there. He's going to find the 1-5 beta, so he's got 2 betas back to back. Teex does beat the Hammer Bros, and he'll head into the 5-3 beta, basically. Garen will take down the fort. Unfortunately, we'll find out it's not the correct lock. Ooh, and Eunice takes a death there in 1-5. He will play the coin chip now. Garen's going to take a smart choice here and grab a power-up. I don't blame him. I think that's a smart move. Eunice does get past the coin chip here and finds another star, so... It's got a P-Wing and a star. It looks like both the Hammer Bros were coin chips. Something you don't see that often. So Teex is on the right path here. He's going to be playing 1-5 beta. That will take him to the other fort, and Garen joins him only a few seconds behind. Ooh, Teex does take a death there. So Garen will take a slight lead. And when I mean slight, we're talking half a level. Oh, Eunice does take a death there. That's going to set him back a little bit. So Garen does get through the stage, so he'll be heading into the fortress straight north of him. We'll find out which one that's going to be next. It could be 3F1, but we don't know. They don't always get paired together. And this time we're going to find a 6F3. That's going to be Carpet Fort here. Ooh, Eunice taking another death. Teex does beat the 1-5 beta. He is in the Carpet Fort. No power-ups, so he needs to play really careful, especially with only 2 lives left. Garen now in the elevator part. Just gotta watch out for that hot foot on the side there. Can be a little crazy, so you gotta watch out for that one. And with the Fire Flower, he can take down Boom Boom in 5 easy shots. Teex does lose both power-ups right away. Luckily that mushroom's right there. He's got to be careful. He's only got 1 life left, and he's got the end of the stage here coming up. Oh no! He gets pinned by the spikes. Garen's playing the last coin ship here in the world. Quick kill with the Fire Flower. Now Garen's got to find the pipe that leads to Windy. I believe he knows which one it is. It's going to be the one on the north side of the map here. He's going to use that pipe that he unlocked. Yuno's playing through the sunken, or the flooded fort here. He's not doing too bad. He's hanging in there. Unfortunately, this is not the lock he wants. So Garen is the first one to head into the World 3 fortress, which we're going to find the World 1 airship. Very nice without the auto-scrollers. This is another thing I forgot to mention. In the Super Mario 3 Randomizer, there are only 2 auto-scrollers in the game. We have the rest of them turned off. Therefore, we get faster gameplay here. Now, the Koopalings have a chance to have anywhere from 1 to 5 HP. It looks like Wendy's going to be at least 4. She is a full 5 HP. Ooh, good fight by Garen there. Barely gets by. But he will be moving on into World 2. And I want to see you guys in chat. What do you think World 2 is going to be? We've already seen World 3, so we got plenty of other options. Personally, I'm going to go with World 5. Teex is going to play the end card game. Unfortunately, doesn't make any matches, so he's looking a little on the downside here with only 1 life. He's got to be careful. Well, Yunos does gain another life, so he's going to head into Windy with no power-ups and no lives, so he's got to be very careful going through the stage and fighting Windy. Looks like Garen got a anchor, and he heads into World 7. Think about World 7 with all these pipes. 1 pipe can send you across the map. 1 pipe can send you on the same island. You don't know. That's the beauty of the pipes being randomized. You're just putting on a fantastic fighter there against Wendy. He does succeed, so he'll move on into World 7 here for World 2. Garen's trying to find where he's going. Personally, I would have played that fort that was on that island just to clear it up, just in case we need to move the lock later. So because he picked up the anchor is a wild item. So what that means, it could be anything. It could be a mushroom, a fire flower, hammer suit, P-wing, tanuki suit, a lock, a cloud, or hammer or a cloud. It could be anything. Unfortunately, it's not a hammer. It looks like it's a frog suit. He's going to risk it, but now he knows the path he needs to take. He's just got to figure out, does he need to play both fortresses to get by? And Teex does play the fort that he first sees, and that's going to be the Super Tanks level here without the auto-scroller, so it's actually a relatively short stage. This does match the stars here. We're going to find out what the stars do for him. That looks like the stars are fire flowers, so not a hammer or a cloud, so good item, but not the item they're probably looking for. Okay, so Teex does beat the Super Tanks there, and that turns out it does open the lock, so he will have to play the Piranha stage and play the fortress behind it. Yunos now heading into his fight with Wendy. He's got 2 HP, so I think he'll be pretty okay. Just got to watch out for Wendy's jumps here whenever she's on her, technically after her 3rd hit. There he goes. Good fight by him, so he does survive. So Garen's taking down Super Tanks. Teex right now going through the Piranha stage. The difference right now is Garen is slightly behind, but at the same time, he does know the location and where to go for World 7 to beat it, so still going to be a close race here. And Yunos is not too far behind, just getting into World 7. Probably a stage or 2 behind here. So Garen's going to play the end card game. Teex is playing through Air Force stage on the frog suit. Kind of risky, but he was handling it pretty well until he got hit there. So Garen's made a match with the mushrooms and the stars. We're going to find out what the mushrooms do for him here shortly. And the mushroom looks like a star. So a star and two fire flowers. Not a bad combo. Unos picks up a Tanuki suit in his mushroom house. As Teex does defeat the Air Force, so now he's good to go once he figures out where to go here for World 7. Does find the stage, makes the smart choice, and goes all the way through to play 7-5, which looks to be 6-5. The other thing you got to notice is that Teex is playing only with 1 life, so he's got to be careful. Ooh, and watch out for Boss Bass there. If you would have went through the other pipe, Boss Bass would not have come back. So, and it's not the way. Oh, good play by him. So he's gonna watch out. 5 seconds in the in-game timer. Boss Bass will show up again. Ooh, he got lucky there. So Garen takes a hit here to start his Air Force stage. So now he is small, so he's got to play it safe. I'm not sure if Teex knows where to go here for the stage, but it looks like he's gonna figure it out shortly. Ooh, and there it is. Boss Bass chomps him and gives him a game over. So he will backtrack a little bit, but not too far. The good news about that is I don't think they've played a single stage here for World 7 except for the forts, and the forts will stay defeated. Garen's taking his time here through the Air Force stages. He's only got a couple more jumps to go. Uno's not too far behind them. He did not play the Super Tanks level, so he will have to go back and play that. So Teex does still have the lead, but Garen is slightly ahead of him right now. He does have more lives, and I believe a few more power-ups as well. He's got to watch out for that Boss Bass. That's going to be pure trouble if he doesn't look out. And Unos gets the end of his super tanks, and Garen's going to grab his power-ups to ensure that he can fly up the end of the stage. I think Teex figured out exactly where he needs to go now. He's got to take care of that Paragoomba. Now to get rid of the micro Goombas on you, you just gotta wiggle your controller left and right real quickly, and that will shake them off of you. So Teex does get through the stage. Ooh, I don't think Garen's gonna get enough speed here to fly up there. No, he's gonna fall just short. Teex does keep his lead very slightly. He does have the Piranha stage coming up next. As Unos is not too far behind him, roughly about 3 stages behind, but it's still anybody's game. Garen does get through 6-5 here. And we'll avoid the 3rd bingo card to give him the 3 stars. So gets the 1 up and off he goes. So Teex moving into the World 7 airship, which is the World 4 airship. No power-ups, so he's got to be a little careful with all these flamethrowers going on. Fortunately, that's just a start. It does help with stage movement, but it's not going to help him in the fight against Ludwig here. So the Cloud is a great item that both players have received from the Piranha stage. That will come very useful later if we see one of our auto-scrollers or stage such as 7-5 or 6-6. So Ludwig has 3 HP. He's got the Earthquake. Looks like 4. He's going to have 5 HP. Good fight by Teex there. So Unos does get through his Air Force stage as Garen heads into his fight with Ludwig. Garen's roughly about 25 seconds behind. So as Teex enters World 3, guys, let's see some guesses here. I got a World 2 guess. I'm going to stick with 5 here and still say World 5. We got a Vanilla World 1 here. And we're going to find 8-1 here. Then this stage here is blocking one of the forts. So you could take the top route and play 2 stages, or you can play 8-1. Most players would rather just play 8-1 instead of 2 stages. You don't know what the other two stages can be. Good movement here by Teex. Looks like he's feeling it now after that game over. Good 8-1 by Teex. Garen's going to take the top route here by flying over the stage a little bit. And Teex finds himself in 6F2 the ice fort. Good dodge there by him. Garen's taking a little slower approach here, so he is kind of losing that momentum he was gaining on him. He's just got to play this part safe. Ooh, and that cannon. Bolt Bill gets him right there with that shot. Unos gets out of 6-5 here, and he will moving into his piranha stage. Garen's going to use his P-Wing and just fly over the whole stage. I understand. It's not a fun stage to play, so I completely get it. Teex moves into 1-6. He's going to find 4-5 here. Or not 4-5, sorry. Actually, yes, this is 4-5. My mistake. Unos is finishing up his piranha plant stage as Garen still he's roughly about 2 stages behind now after that death. So guys, keep in mind, this just because they're 2 stages ahead doesn't mean much. Garen's going to take the bottom route here with the flying. Good movement by him. Oh no, he's going to fly, and unfortunately he's going to take a death there. So that will push him back a little bit further. Teex finds a hand stage here with the Hammer Bros. At the end of the hammer stage, or hand stage, you're going to find an item. That Tanuki suit will be in all 3 of those stages. Garen's going to play some more end card games. He does find a Fire Flower, so we'll find out what the Fire Flower does for him. Looks like the Fire Flower... Looks like that was a music box. So Garen's got 3 clouds right now. Teex trying to do a clip here for the World 6 airship. Yeah, 1 or 2 tries. Otherwise, you're going to be wasting time there. So, Garen's taking his time here on the 6F2. I don't blame him, as Unos is coming into World 3, technically World 1. So, pretty close. Larry is a heavy boy here. He's got 2 HP at least, 3 HP and Earthquake. So the Earthquake guys are done. We won't see any more Earthquake Koopa Kids anymore. Garen's got to be careful here on the ice. Does take out Boom Boom, so he is still kind of falling behind, but Unos here is making a comeback right now. He's on 8-1, only a stage behind Garen. So Teex is going to be heading into World 4, guys. Let's see some World 4 guesses. I'm going to stick to my World 5 because eventually I'm going to be right. So you got another World 2 guess here. We're going to find World 6. Ooh, unfortunately that pipe does block him. Almost a very vanilla setup here with the pipe in that location, but 610's right there. And we're going to find 4-2 here. Or 4-3, sorry. Now, it looks like Garen's stream might need to be refreshed, because he's been stuck on that stage for a while. And it looks like Unos is getting his way through the stage. We're going to switch the audio there to Teex. We're going to make sure we get Garen refreshed here. Alright, so Teex is going to find himself in 1-4. No auto-scroller, so that's a nice change. Unfortunately, we're waiting for the restreamer to help out the Garen Wolf's stream here. It's a little broken up. He just does get through his stage. Teex is kind of pulling away here, so... Was struggling there in the beginning, got a game over in World 7, but the good thing about World 7 is they didn't really need to play any stages, they just need to play the forts, and he had already defeated the forts, so you're just going to go back, play the end card game, see what else you can get here. Unos makes the 1-up connection there, and the star. As Teex moves on to the next stage there. He skipped a fort. I don't know if he's going to go back for it or not, but we'll find out. Oh, and he finds himself 7-5. Not a fun stage to play. There we go, and Garen's back on screen. Going to carry the shell. Smart move by him. It's it gets to be a little tricky down here, especially with the sun on the stage. You got to watch out because later on when you got to build that bridge, the sun will be there and he will be active. So Garen is still roughly a couple stages behind here. He is making a little bit of a catch up. We don't know if he used a cloud or what, but we'll find out here shortly. Ooh, Teex gotta be careful here. 7-5 is a very long stage to play. I'm slightly surprised he didn't take a death just to cloud over it. Let's see, Unos here ending his World 3 fight. Ooh, and Teex does take the death there by the Angry Sun. As we said, that's a long stage to die on, so this is Garen's chance to catch up. Going to equip the frog suit here. Garen's going to try and get the speed. He does get it. He's got to be careful. He's got to fly high because he already used most of the P speed there. Oh, barely gets by. And Teex grabs another star from the Hammer Bros there. He's choosing to skip a lot of these fortresses, and he will cloud over to play 6-5, which is 8-2. So the positive and the negative of that is he is avoiding some of the locks, but there could be a stage coming up that is preventing a bridge or a lock to the fortress, so he's got to be careful about that. And Garen's going to finish up his end card game. And it looks like Unos and Garen both have a hammer suit. That's going to be very big coming up for the Bowser stage later in the game. We have the Desert Fort here for Teex on his side. Garen's still roughly about 2 or 3 stages behind. Remember, Teex did use a mushroom, so he does have that slight lead right now. I'm interested to see if both the other players, if Unos and Garen, both play the forts to open up the way. Which looks like Garen skipped one, and he's thinking about it. Yeah, he's going to play, which is the World 1 fort, so it's not a fort that's going to block his potential to move on because of the item that is hidden here. So Teex made the right gamble on that one, but that original fort back there might be the one he needs to play, and it looks like it is. He's going to have to go back to play that fort. And he already used a cloud. He's going to use a second cloud, so he's going to lose his clouds for later in the game. So he does make a match to get the flowers. Gets the 1-up throw him the mushrooms. Gets the star. Ooh, does not make a match there. So Eunice does pick up a hammer there. That's a good pickup there for him. Garen is also playing 7-5. I'm surprised all these runners are not just skipping it. And I'm wondering if they're thinking that they have to play the stage. That first fort, they're all going to have to play to keep moving on. So all the runners are going to find out shortly. They're going to have to backtrack to play that fort to break the lock. Unless they decide to use the hammer to break the lock. That is an option, but the hammer will come in useful later on if they need to. So Garen does have a hammer. He's probably going to use it once he gets to the fort and realizes there's a key there. Gotta watch out for Boss Bass here in 8-2. He's taking the sand to shame, which is really risky. Just gotta be careful. Oh, and Garen does get chomped up. So Teex is going to find out he's going to have to go all the way back to play that fort. Eunice has at least 2 hammers. Thank you. A little difficult to catch up with 3 guys while they're all playing roughly the same world and trying to keep up with them. So thank you. I appreciate the help, chat. Garen's going to cloud over both stages. Going to use a frog suit and a star to play this stage here, which is the desert fort. Kind of risky there by Garen because he already used a cloud and then died. Yeah, unfortunately only 3 runners tonight. Everybody seemed to be a little busy. I would have participated, but I did sign up for comms, so. Yeah, Eunice can definitely spare one in the process, so he's going to save himself some trouble once he gets up there. He's probably going to go for a secret item here. Yeah, don't blame him. He's the only one that's going to be going for it. If I was Teex, I would have taken that Mushroom House. 5F1 is not a difficult stage, just those Disco Waffles tend to give some issues for runners because they don't go in the same pattern as before, but does need a power up this time and heads into the Boom Boom fight. And he will be playing 8-2. So Eunice is going to play 8-2. He's going to take the top route. No Sand of Shame for him tonight. Tonight's flags are tourney flag 2. So we do have end card game, hammers break locks, all that fun stuff. He's got to be careful there not to... Oh no, Eunice! So everybody has wasted their clouds, it seems like, tonight. So not an easy feat there. So Teex does get through, and he will be heading into this 7-2 here. He's going to take a death, take a different route. I don't blame him. So Eunice is going to use his hammer suit early on, which is I'm vaguely a little surprised, but got to do what you got to do to get through. Teex here finds himself in, I want to say, 5-6, 5-5, something like that. One of the sky levels here. Ooh, and he misses the jump, unfortunately. That will send him back. He's lost a lot of ground here. Fortunate for him, Garen struggled himself, yet Eunice is surprisingly right behind him now. So Eunice was roughly about almost 5-6 stages behind, and he's caught up about a stage behind right now. So he can't break the lock there with the hammer, which he will do. He's going to take the bottom route, which is going to be 7-2. Teex is heading into the World 3 airship, where he'll fight Lemmy Koopa, so he will be on the flat surface. Pretty easy fight there for him, as long as Lemmy behaves. So Eunice will have to play the stage the long way. He loses his tail. Gotta be careful with the nipper down there. Garen does get his hammer. Fortunately, he's already played, but that hammer will come in handy later. And Lemmy looks like he's only 2 hits, so an easy fight for Teex, and he moves into World 5. Guys, what do you think World 5 is going to be? I'm going to stick to my first guess and say World 5. I've been saying World 5 for about 3 worlds now. Oasis agrees with me. He's sticking with 5. I like that. We really haven't had a Fred. We've had a French vanilla Fred, but we are due for a Fred. We don't see what Teex gets from Peach there, and we do find World 5. And we have 7-1 Fort Knox. So 7F1 Fort Knox as Small Mario is kind of unfortunate. That's a lot of time lost there. He will backtrack here. Let's see what power-up he's got in his inventory. Those Hammer Brothers, they don't want to separate. They're going to keep marching around. Unos is playing it safe. He is basically going to catch up. He's about, I'd say about 20 seconds behind at this point. So Teex is going to use that P-Wing here. Fly to the top. So we'll see if Unos takes the death and decides to use a P-Wing or something. I'm not sure what he's going to do here once he finds 7F1. So Garen still roughly about 2 stages behind, but this is still anybody's race. Teex has kind of struggled a little bit with some simple stages and his routing, so this race is still anyone's. And we find the pipe there that sends him back down. Technically the paradox pipe sends him up instead of down. Finds himself with, I believe, 3-7? Memory's a little messed up here. Can't remember, unfortunately. He takes the damage boost to get over the hill. He's got to watch out for that Paragoomba. Ooh, barely dodges getting hit there. Grabs the star. He should be able to beat this stage. And Unos is going to be playing the stage completely. I believe Unos still has a cloud, so he might actually use a cloud here. So Teex finds himself with 4-2 now. Not too difficult of a stage. Just got to be careful with that cheap on the bottom. 3-4. Thank you, Croak. I haven't played, honestly, since the tournament ended, so I'm a little rusty on familiarity. Unos is going to grab the Tanuki suit. Now, unfortunately, the 7F1 is like almost a minute and a half long, even if you're going pretty quick. So it's a lot of time wasted here. Teex is going to be heading into the World 2 airship here for World 5. Going to use a P-Wing trick there, or P-Speed trick whenever you get the leaf to keep jumping. He almost fell there in a crack. Garen luckily had some of the right equipment, so he's going to make this stage really fast. And with that, he'll be moving into World 6. We still haven't seen World 2, World 4. So it's either 2 or 4, guys. Take your guesses. Yeah, absolutely. Taking the death in 7F1 is definitely the right play. I don't know if Unos is a relatively new player, but most new players don't know to take the death there. He does make a good play there for 3-4, avoiding any enemies. Garen is still almost just about a whole world. And with that, they got the Navy stage here for Teex. World 2 here looks to be not too bad. Looking at the setup there. Only saw for a split second. The lock is mandatory to break, so they're going to play the Navy stage for sure. Unos does take a death there to the Hammer Bros. It's got the World 2 layout, so it's much better than the one he had before. So we see that pipe up there. That pipe might actually help them a lot to be able to skip quite a few stages, but they have at least 3 stages here, and Teex is going to be playing 2-5. Looks like Unos was struggling a little bit here with 4-2. Garen's on the same page, so they're all catching up. It's not too far, roughly a few stages behind, but like I said before, one bad stage and they'll catch up. So heading into 2-2, we're gonna find 2-3. A lot of World 2 levels here for World 2. It's kind of a vanilla, but not too bad. Enos is gonna take the 5-up. I don't blame him. I don't know if it was intentional or not, but the 5-up is definitely a good thing to have this late in the game. And he does finish his end card game. So Garen did pull ahead of Enos here, but Enos is not that far. We're talking seconds behind. Garen's going to head into his fight with Roy. Roy's a one-hit wonder. Didn't see the text, I didn't realize he beat him that quickly. And here we're going to find 4-1, it looks like. Got a Boss Bass in there, so look out for Boss Bass. Should be a fairly easy stage from this point on. As long as he doesn't make any bad jumps, he should be alright. So Enos and Garen here are finishing up World 5, so they are still roughly about 3 stages behind. Well, that'll make that 4 actually. He does have a hammer, so that will break up the rock, which is good, because that pipe leads you nowhere. They got one stage blocking them from the airship, and on to World 7, which will be World 4. Here we're going to find, I believe, is 6-4. I could be wrong. This World 6 stage is kind of blended in for me, but no auto-scroller this time, so the stage does move a little faster. Unfortunately, you do have to wait for the clouds. Oh, Teex almost made a mistake there, so he had to backtrack just a little bit. Garen and Enos are side by side here with 2-5. Garen with probably, we're talking like a 5 to 6 second lead. Teex here in the World 7 airship for World 6. He will be taking on Morton Koopa. No more Earthquakers, so it should be a relatively easy fight for him. 6-2, thank you. Let's see, Mord's got 1, 2, 3 HP. Looks like he's going to have at least 4. Oh, look out for the moon jumps. Oh, Teex got to be careful. He's got 4. He's got 5 HP. Ooh, barely gets through the fight. Good fight by him. Got a little scary there, but he did pull through. And Enos and Garen are literally seconds apart again. Garen's going to go back and play the end card game here. See what he can find. So now Teex will head into World 7, which will be World 4. So you got 2 pipes there. Those pipes could be connected, or this one can take you there. Let's find out. Looks like it sends you on the other side, but the fortresses are side by side. That is something you definitely want to see. And Teex is going to play 4F1. It's going to take the bottom route, kind of the safe route. If you get the right movement, you can make some really cool tricks here for 4F1. So Garen and Eunice are still roughly about 3 or 4 stages behind, so they're going to need either some bad luck for Teex or some really good movement here to catch up with everybody. And as usual, 4F1 is going to be followed by 4F2, so that is definitely a Fred there for 4F1. Do these guys not have hammers anymore? Maybe they may not have hammers anymore. I thought both of them had a hammer. So they are going to have to play some extra stages, which is going to give Teex a huge lead here. So now he's constructed both stages, which made the bridge for that second stage, and he's going to put these guys to sleep and move on into the World 7 airship. Eunice has one. I'm kind of surprised he's not using it. And Teex here using the top route here for World 5 airship. He's going to take on Iggy. Iggy has one of the worst hitboxes in the game, so he's got to be careful. Yeah, he might be trying to save it, but at this point, there's really nothing else that's going to... I mean, World 8 might have something that will block him, but it all depends. So who knows? That might come in handy. He might use a lock early on. Gets him the lead, so... But he's going to have to catch up. He is roughly a whole world behind Teex right now. Ooh, Garen takes another death here for 6-2. That is going to put him a little bit behind. He's going to use his P-Wing, which is a smart move. Oh, that hammer bro just using the side to clip up. Teex has three pipes and one possible fort. That tank image could be either a fort or a level. He finds the hand stage. He's got all 3 ships on there, so that's a good sign. He's looking for the route to the Valley of Bowser. Find the Dark World. Doesn't get grabbed by the hand stage. There's a lock, and there is the fortress. It's going to be 5F2 here. So Garen now is in the airship, so he's got to play it safe here as Eunice is still behind him. So just a couple more hits on Boom Boom, and Teex will have some knowledge here of what World 8 has in store. That did not break the lock, has some off screen, so now the hand will grab him and pull him down. We got 6-9, not a bad stage. He's going to try and do the wall jump here. Oh, he had the chance there, but he couldn't get it. I'd say about 1 or 2 tries you should, yeah, head into the pipe like he is. So Garen will move on into World 7, and Eunice is not too far behind him. Six Nine's not too different, even with the randomizer. Some enemies are changing, some of the items you get are a little different. But overall, the stage is relatively still the same. So on the randomizer, 6-9, while it is somewhat of a long level, it's a nice level to see. And I don't think he meant to grab the 5-up. Maybe he did. You don't ever know. We've had a lot of heavy hitters tonight. I think we've only had 2 Koopalings that didn't have, or 3 technically, that didn't have full HP. Larry had 3, Roy had 1, and Lemmy had 2. So Garen's playing his 4F1 here. Gonna go back, grab the Fireflower. Not a bad idea. Unfortunately, he just doesn't know how far behind he really is here. Teex does find a Valley of Bowser, but 1 bridge is required. So now he's got to find the right stage for the bridge. And unfortunately, on the map with all of those guys, I think there's only 1 or 2 locks maybe on screen. Nope, there are no locks on screen. So that fortress broke the lock, so he has a good idea, but he won't be able to get any clues whether or not this is the correct fort for 6F1. Ooh, Garen, unfortunately taking another death here for 4F2. Eunice is the only player not to take the top route, unfortunately, doesn't have enough invincibility frames to get past that hot foot. So Teex will beat this forward, but the question is he going to keep going to see... Is he just going to play all the forts, or is he going to try and backtrack? Because either way, he could lose time backtracking, or he could just play the level. He's going to find out here in just a second. Unfortunately, that did not build a fort, so he will have to backtrack. So Garen is playing more in-card game here. Generally, late game, you don't want to play the in-card game. I don't know if he's looking just for some reinforcements or what, but he's got plenty of items. He's got the hammer suit, so he does have a weapon for Bowser. Unos makes a pretty risky jump there against the hot feet. Teex playing 3F1 here. Door 6-4 does get the star kill, and we'll get the upside down orb. Or is like what we like to call it, bro. So Garen will be heading into World 8 once he finishes his fight with... It looks like 3F1 is the gatekeeper, so now he will be heading into 8-2, which is 1-2, so not a bad stage to finish out this World 8 before the Bowser's Fortress. Unfortunately, the enemy types are not a fun type to deal with, but luckily they're a little slow, so you don't have to worry about them too much. Yeah, nice comfy stage to end this world. So now he will have the Valley of Bowser completed and heading into Bowser's Fortress. He does have a hammer suit, so hopefully it goes all according to plan. It looks like Teex will take this weekly race. Unfortunately, no swag clip there for him. See, now if I was him, I would have taken out that boo, because a boo will follow you up the stairs. Trying to go for the Everman clip, does get it. Nice try. Second try, we'll say first try. So nice movement here. Ooh, almost fell. Good movement there for Teex, and here goes Bowser, and there goes Bowser. So drop your GGs in chat for Teex. He will take first place in our weekly race. And with that, Teex will finish with an official SRL time of 48 minutes and 3 seconds. Give it up for our weekly winner. So now Garen is the next one into World 8 as Unos is finishing up World 7. Garen tries for the wall jump, can't get it, he's just going to go straight into the stage, I don't blame him. Ooh, unfortunately does take a death there. Oh, he got lucky. Thought he was grabbed, but he got through. And Garen will be playing the ice stage here, which I believe is 6-2. Unfortunately, it's full of hot feet. You gotta, or not hot feet, but the fire snakes. You gotta watch out for them. A little unpredictable at times. Unis is heading into World 8 here. Does take a different route. He's gonna use the hammer on the lock. Trying to decide if he needs to use that second lock right away, and he will not. He will find a hand stage for 2-1. Take a death so he can get out of it. Unfortunately, Garen does take a death there, but he was trying to basically skip that stage. He does know where he needs to go. Contemplating he is going to use his hammer suit. And GG, TX, how you doing today, man?
I'm well, thanks, Gimp. How are you?
Not too bad. Good race. I noticed you struggled a little bit early on. You did take a game over in World 7, but if you're going to take a game over, that was the spot.
Yeah, at least it was early on in the world, and I already took out one of the forts, so it was just a matter of just getting my way over to the last island.
Yeah. I noticed with World 7, you guys had no stages to play except for the Piranha Plant stages, a stage, and then maybe 2 forts.
Yeah, it was a little tricky, too, because I didn't really have a star in my inventory, so it's not like I could casually just walk across those Piranha Plants. And plus, the Paracoup that was normally there wasn't, so I kind of had that gap that I had to cross, and I didn't really have a way to get across with those note blocks, so I just kind of fell and took some damage, so I just barely made it out of there with Small Mario.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think also my biggest problem was the fourth world, which was World 6 in the seed. So yeah, I had a lot of back and forth going on just because I didn't know that that first fort that you encounter was the one that I really had to unlock. So I ended up using my cloud like 3 times on 7.5 and then just got my hammers confused. So I ended up burning more items that were necessary. So I probably could have finished a little sooner.
Mm-hmm. And the thing was, with all 3 of you guys, you all burned clouds like crazy because both Yunos and Garen both used their clouds and died. And then they had to go back through. And then I believe Garen used both of his clouds to get through. They both had hammers when they got to that lock, so they didn't have to go back to play that stage. But they did burn their clouds just like you did.
Yeah, it was a little tricky. It was a bit longer than I'm used to doing, so I know that a good portion of that was self-inflicted, but overall I thought it was a fair seed. It definitely could have been a lot worse. Fortunately, I didn't have to play 6-6 and just get infested with a bunch of bloopers, just lagging frames.
Yeah, I think you from World 4, you really turned it around. After that, you played pretty much cleanly. You only had a few simple deaths here and there. I do have to give props to Garen. He did get the wall jump there in 6-9. Congrats to him. That's not an easy feat.
Oh yeah, I think there was like a 2 or 3 frame window for that subpixel, so it could be pretty tricky to time. So if I wasn't going to get it within 5, I just figured I would just go through the stage normally rather than just dwell on it.
Right. Yeah, and he was trying to get through it with just killing himself and trying to go past the hand stage, but after that he finally decided, I'm just going to play it and get it over with.
Yeah, that's totally fair. And there was just no way I was going through 7.5 as Small Mario with those Angry Sun just hanging in that lower area with those narrow passageways.
Yeah, no, that was really tricky on you especially. Looks like Garen's a little lost here in World 8. Go ahead.
Yeah, plus I was just going to say that I also didn't have a shell on hand so that I could just break the block in order to take the shortcut. And since I wasn't Big Mario, it's not like I could generate a bridge of those invisible blocks and then just clip my way into the exit pipe. Right.
And yeah, especially with the sun there, that makes it really, really hard. Clipping is not as hard as it seems, believe it or not. Most people look at it and are like, whoa, how are they doing it? It's involving subpixels, the right jump, the right kind of speed. But anybody can do it.
Yeah, it's clipping is just one of those things where there are just some circumstances where you just can't get it on your first try, and it just depends on what your subpixel value is going into that stage to begin with, and a lot of that is dependent on the stage beforehand. So yeah, a lot of that just comes down to luck. It's really just a matter of bunking your head into the corner and just really hoping it lets you in.
Yeah, and I mean, we didn't get to see 7-1 or 7-6, so unfortunately we didn't get to see any of those fun clips. Because generally when we see that, everybody knows how to do that one. But, you know, unfortunately, no clips today. No fun. I saw you try to go for the Bowser's Fortress swag clip there. Unfortunately, you didn't get it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, in Bowser's Castle, I wasn't really going to go crazy with the elevator clips. So I just decided to just go up the elevator the old-fashioned way and just not worry about losing a second and a half or so.
Right. Yeah, and at that point, I mean, you really had a commanding lead because, believe it or not, when you guys got to World 1, these guys struggled quite a bit, and then World 2 even gave them more struggle, but World 4 wasn't too bad for both of them. They just struggled really hard in those 2 worlds. That really increased your lead, where you're pretty much safe the rest of the way.
Yeah, at least in World 4, those 2 fortresses were just paired right against each other, so you didn't really have to go on a wild goose chase across the island.
Yeah, and now, did you know that with World 1, the World 1 Fortress, you don't necessarily have to play because it will not block your progress.
Yeah, I kind of figured that was there wasn't really going to be an issue with soft locking. I was going to go for the chest on top of that ceiling, but I didn't have I wasn't able to get the raccoon leaf, so.
Right. Yeah. It looked like most of the runners were unaware of it because I know Garen played through it. Eunice went and got the item. I forgot what the item was, to be honest.
Yeah, it was a star, so I just ended up running through that room with the scrolling spike ceiling.
Mm-hmm. And you're relatively new to the randomizer, correct? You've done several weeklies, just you're still pretty new to it.
Yeah, I just got involved with Randomizer around mid-April, so
right towards the end of the tournament. Yeah.
Yeah, there's still a lot of kinks that I'm trying to work out. I'm still used to running vanilla 100% in warpless, so I'm still in that mindset whenever I do Randomizer. So I just keep psyching myself and have to keep realizing that a lot of the enemies that spawn that I usually take for granted just doesn't work in some situations. Like some situations where I would expect to bounce on a Koopa, sometimes it's replaced with a Spiny or something that I can't bounce off of.
Yeah, no, I completely understand that. The big thing, I do want to tell people that if they are interested, we do have a Discord. The Discord, we are super friendly. We welcome new players all the time. Mustard's probably the biggest advocate when it comes to that. He always welcomes new people. He generally races every night. So if you're wanting to get some practice in, don't be intimidated. Mustard will actually teach you tricks and tell you some cool things, along with the rest of us here. We really like it when new people get interested in the randomizer.
Yeah, Human Mustard's a really good guy, and he's been really friendly and really helpful to me when I got started. So I would definitely encourage everyone to get involved. It's always good to have more people in the community.
Yeah, and I mean, the big thing, like, you don't have to be a speedrunner. I am not a speedrunner. I kind of am now, but before I didn't speedrun. I played Mario 3 super casually. I would play 100%, but I wouldn't run it like a speedrun. I would basically just play it as quickly as possible without doing any tech or anything, but I'd grab every life I could. And now with the randomizer, I know a lot more tricks. I'm a lot faster at the game. I mean, shoot, for me not being a randomizer, I did place in the top 16 the last 2 tournaments, so I'm pretty happy with the results. So even if you're like, hey, I'm not a speedrunner, guess what? You can do this. Anybody can. If I could get that far, anybody can.
Yeah, and the best part of participating in these races is that it gets you involved with the community altogether. So it's nice to make some friends along the way and just meet people who have the same interests as you.
Yeah, some people get intimidated, like, oh, some people might talk smack or something. You know what? Whenever we do, we're just messing with each other. We're all friendly. There's no, there's not money involved. There's no aggression. It's just like, man, I really struggled on 7-6, and we'd be like, yeah, me too. We all struggled on that stage or something like that.
Exactly.
Looks like Garen's here in his fight with Bowser. For people who don't know, Bowser's hitbox is only in his head. So as you see, he can duck there the whole time and never take any hits. So he should be finishing up his Bowser fight any moment now. And down goes Bowser into the basement. So give up your GGs in chat for Garen Old Wolf. And with that, Garen will finish with an SRL time of 58 minutes and 28 seconds. So now Eunice will be the last runner. He does not have any audio, so unfortunately, we're not going to have anything to play while he's playing. And we'll see if we can get him in here for an interview as well. Garen, GG.
Thank you, GG Teex.
Thanks so much, Garen. Really appreciate it.
Thoughts on the seeds, Garen?
Seed was pretty good, except for a few mistakes I made.
Yeah,
most of those was me being rusty at this game.
Yeah, no, I understand that. The big thing, everybody, not just you, but everybody struggled with World 4. You all used clouds and you all failed or had to use more clouds to get through the stages. Any thoughts on that, World?
That one was where I lost a lot of time. So, and then of course it had to be the very first.
Yeah, and the thing was too is like at that time, Teex had to use a cloud, and he had to go back and use another cloud because he didn't get the right fort. And at that point, you and Yunus could have taken the lead, and I mean, you guys were literally a stage and a half apart. But unfortunately, when he got to World 1, he really took off and just left you guys kind of behind in the dust.
Yeah, I actually made a mistake when I went to use a hammer in that level. I was facing the wrong way and got a lock instead of the...
Yeah, that is one of the small things that unfortunately we can't really fix, but you just got to be careful about that. So, hey, and Yunus does finish up here. He does finish here with an SRL time of 1 hour and 15 seconds. So give your GGs up for Yunus.
GG.
So, Garen, for a D-Rust, how'd you feel otherwise?
I thought it was pretty good. And I do apologize that at one point my feed froze. So it wasn't that there was any issue on the restream. It was actually on mine.
Oh, okay. Well, the ironic thing was we were getting your sound completely perfect. No issues. We could hear everything you were doing. Unfortunately, yeah, your image did freeze up.
I don't know why, but my capture does that once in a while, and I forgot to reset it beforehand and make sure it...
That's all good, man. It happens. So I noticed you used your hammer suit early on in World 8. What was your thoughts behind that?
I was just trying to get a power up because I was that small Mario and didn't have any other type of power ups.
Gotcha, yeah.
Healing.
Right. No, and I understand. I was just curious because it was like, ooh, no, not the hammer suit so early, but it happens. And I do want to send out my GGs to Yunus. Congratulations, man. Good race. Looks like he's still figuring out his mic situations. But of all three of you guys, I think it was a good race. It's a good way to show off everybody what the randomizer does. It's a lot of fun. I want everybody to at least try it out. Reach out to our Discord. We're all super friendly, like I said before.
Oh, okay. Thanks. Good game, guys.
Yeah,
You
it was a lot of fun participating in this, and I just want to give a big thanks to Speed Gaming 3 for hosting this race, and thanks to you, Gim, for doing the commentary.
Yeah. Yunus, thoughts on the seed?
Oh man, I don't know because I'm not very good at this rando or very experienced, and I'm a little bit rusty. So,
well, hey, you showed off pretty well. There was a couple of moments there. I was like, oh, he's making a huge comeback because you were pretty far behind coming into World 3, and you caught up really fast in World 4.
Yeah, maybe do better next time. Just a lot of deaths. I kind of, when I'm doing these open races, I kind of like experiment and just try to push it a little harder rather than play a super solid race. So
yeah, no, that's normal. I think most people do try to do some new tricks that they're not familiar with when they do races, and that's not a bad idea, especially with these weeklies. There's nothing at stake. It's not a tournament. It's not like you're in your round robin stage where you need to win so many times to move on.
Yeah, so I'm kind of practicing for mine to talk about it for a second. We're launching the second round of the SMB3 Rando for Duncan Melvin's tournament. If you pay attention to SRL at all, you'll see these pop up every now and then. The goal is say Duncan Melvin's before we start, but it's open to anybody who wants to join these, and it's not just for SMB3. It's for all kinds of randos. So if you're interested, just hit me up or come pop in our room at SRL sometime.
Yeah, and be sure to give a follow to all of these runners, Yunus, Garen Old Wolf, and TX. These guys are all streamers. They're all here to have fun with you guys. Give them a follow. They put on a really good show tonight.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thanks so much. It's been a lot of fun racing with you guys. So GG's again.
Yeah, nice time, man.
Thank you.
All right. Peace out, y'all.
You have a good one, Yunus. Thanks again.
Thanks.
All right. Have a good night, everyone.
And with that, that will conclude our weekly race here. Again, if you have any questions, you can reach out to our Discord. And again, Mario 3 randomizers, especially Mario Brothers 3, is super fun. We love having new racers. Again, please drop a follow to all three racers here. They did a fantastic job. Give out the shout outs to Speed Gaming 3 for allowing us to showcase this. and to our restreamer Oasis, I believe. You did a great job. We appreciate it, man. And as far as that goes, you guys all have a wonderful Wednesday evening.
Thank you, and likewise. Have a good night, everyone.